For the next 1 hour, we bring you news from Liberia and other parts of the world. I'm Jack Davis, presenting on this Thursday, February 26, 2026. In the top stories, government of Liberia signs 20 megawatt hydropower plant agreement at EU Liberia Business Forum in Brussels.
I was so happy to see the mission of my country.
Excitement builds across Liberia as government moves first batch of yellow machines from Freeport of Monrovia. Ministry of Education finds St. Teresa Convent Catholic School $500,000 Liberian dollars. And away from Liberia, Kenyan police arrest suspected trafficker who lured citizens into fighting for Russia in Ukraine. We have all of these stories plus our regular features, including sports, weather reports, Liberian English, and the French version of the news, or package. First, Lakita Roberts with a bulletin of news.
The government of Liberia has signed a 20 megawatt hydropower plant agreement to improve energy in Nimba County. The agreement was signed with Hydronil, a France-based independent power producer specialized in small to medium-scale hydropower development across Western Central Africa. The MOU was signed at the Liberia EU Business Forum in Brussels, aiming to support the development, financing, construction, and operation of the plant. According to a dispatch, the over $55 million United States project represents a transformative step towards strengthening Liberia's national power grid and expanding access to clean energy. The initiative is expected to increase Liberia's energy generation capacity, promote sustainable economic growth, and create over 1,000 jobs during construction. Hydronil technical delegation is expected to arrive in Liberia within 6 weeks to commence, create engagement, and initiate detailed feasibility and on-site visit. The Liberia Electricity Corporation, LEC, says it has introduced new measures to reduce power theft across the country. LEC Deputy Managing Director for Operations, Thomas Gunkawang, explained that the introduction of the new meter is based on huge revenue loss to power theft within the Pinsville area alone. Mr. Gunkawang was speaking during the presentation of the LEC's request for an extension of its import lessons to the Liberia Electricity Regulatory Commission recently in Cinco. The LEC recently announced that it will this year begin installing smart meters at various homes and business places, starting with Pinsville City. The Deputy Managing Director for Operations said their action is also backed by a survey conducted, proving that Pinsville is a hotspot for power theft. Meanwhile, the Liberia Electricity Corporation, LEC, has disclosed plans to construct additional 5 district offices across the country. Citizens have expressed their excitement as government transports the first batch of yellow machines to the Camware Barracks in Carisburg for storage. The first batch of heavy-duty equipment arrived at the Freeport of Monrovia on Sunday. The consignment represents the initial phase of a broader government pledge to bring in 285 pieces of earth-moving equipment to transform the nation's transportation infrastructure. Speaking to ELBC Thursday during the transfer exercise, several Liberians expressed strong support for the initiative, describing the arrival as tangible evidence of government's commitment to national development. They noted that the equipment is expected to play a critical role in rehabilitating farm-to-market roles, which could boost economic activities in rural areas and create much-needed job opportunities for local communities. The Education Ministry has fined St. Teresa Convent Catholic School $500,000 Liberian dollars for breaching educational guidelines. The ministry's decision follows a thorough review of the performance of Liberian artists Christopher Younger, widely known as Krista the Change, at the school's facility. A release calls the ministry as ordering disciplinary action against administrators and staff responsible for the incident. The ministry says the incident involved indecent exposure and constitute a serious breach of child protection, safeguarding, and supervision standards. It added that the school administrators failed to attend a scheduled meeting and offered no written justification constituting statutory non-compliance. The Education Ministry has also banned Crystal the Change from school events nationwide for the academic year. In response, the band artist Crystal the Change welcomed the ministry's decision and issued a public apology. In a statement, Crystal said he respects the ruling and is grateful for the opportunity to reflect. He described the incident as unfortunate and asked for forgiveness from the education community. The Liberia National Fire Service says it has intensified efforts to prevent fire outbreak in Margibi County and made growing concerns over recurring incidents in parts of the county. Authorities say the initiative includes community awareness campaign, inspection of commercial facilities, and engagement with local leaders to promote fire safety measures. The move, according to firefighters, is aimed at reducing property damage, protecting lives, and strengthening emergency response readiness across Margibi. The fire service is urging citizens to avoid unsafe electrical connections, properly store flammable materials, and promptly report emergencies. Residents in the area have welcomed the intervention, describing it as timely. Margibi County Superintendent O.J. Morris wants China Union adhere to its 2009 Mineral Development Agreement, MDA, with the Liberian government. In a communication Wednesday, Superintendent Morris reminded China Union of Section 11.1A of the MDA, which considers 30% employment opportunities for qualified Liberians to occupy top managerial positions. He also quoted the agreement as saying within 10 years of operation, 70% of qualified Liberians should occupy senior managerial positions within the management of China Union. The Margibi County Superintendent further disclosed that with 80% of the company's operations in the county, it has not been in compliance as maintained or mentioned in the MDA. A joint team from the National Legislature is expected to visit China Union concession in former District Bon County on a fact-finding mission. The team, headed by Representative Wole Pamule, comprises the Mines and Energy, Labor and Agriculture Ministries, among others, will engage China Union concession and residents of the area. Our correspondent said the residents of the area have in time past complained against the company for failing to perform its mineral development agreement. Our correspondent explained that the action has resulted to protests and other forms of disruptions in the company's operations. With the pending visit, residents are positive that results from the engagement will meet some of their demands, if not all. Assistant Labor Minister for Labor Standards, Emmanuel Zor, has distanced himself from a recent publication by the ministry's Deputy Communication Director, Frederick Bay. Recently, Deputy Director Bay issued a press statement quoting Assistant Minister Zor as threatening to dismiss a group of AFCON protesters at ArcelorMittal Liberia concession site. AFCON is a subcontracting company hired by ArcelorMittal to carry out infrastructure development within its concessions in Nimba and Grand Bassa counties. Speaking to reporters on Wednesday, Assistant Minister Zor said the aim of the ministry is to ensure jobs are provided for Liberians and not to take them out of job. The Assistant Minister noted that he wants to represent the ministry in finding an amicable solution between the management of AFCOM and workers who are protesting for several benefits. The Health Ministry distributed a huge medical consignment to the Grangeda County Health Team to strengthen health care in the county. Grangeda County Head Pharmacist Joseph Kalia said the drug received is part of a quarterly distribution cycle designed to maintain consistent stock across the region. He added that the medical consignment will be distributed to 27 health facilities, including 1 hospital, 2 healthcare centers, among others. Making the disclosure on Wednesday, Kalia appreciated the government for its consistent support to the county's health team. Our correspondent calls the residents as appreciating the government for catering to their health needs in a timely manner. Information Minister Jeremy Pia has discussed global communication plans with the deputy head of division for West Africa at the European Union Extended Action Service, Charles Girard, on the sidelines of the EU-Liberia Business Forum. The meeting focused on strengthening cooperation between Liberia and the EU in strategic communication, countering disinformation and digital diplomacy as Liberia assumes its role as a non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council. A statement from the Information Ministry says Minister Pia noted that modern diplomacy requires a timely public communication. The Information Ministry board further sought technical assistance for knowledge transfer and institutional support in order to build lasting systems within the Ministry of Information and the Press and Public Affairs Office of Liberia's permanent mission in New York. Minister Pia in the statement further noted that government's communication arm will aim to develop clear messaging in advance to major debates on issues such as peacekeeping reforms and climate security. The Central Bank of Liberia, CBL, has endorsed the upcoming 2026 Kongama National Fisheries Investment Conference in Monrovia. CBL reaffirmed its commitment to supporting initiatives that promote sustainable economic development. According to a release, the bank pledged to back efforts that enhance access to finance and stimulate private sector investment. Speaking during the 6th Steering Committee meeting, CBL Deputy Governor for Economic Policy, Dr. Musa Dukle, urged NAFAD to remain engaged in deliberations to resolve outstanding issues and advance the conference planning process with clear and actionable outcomes. Dr. Dukle emphasized that Liberia's fisheries sector holds substantial potential for employment creation, food security enhancement, and broad-based economic growth. The 2026 Kongama National Fisheries Investment Conference is expected to bring together policymakers, development partners, financial institutions, private investors, and sector stakeholders to chart a sustainable and investment-driven future for Liberia's fisheries industry. It will convene policymakers, development partners, financial institutions, private investors, and sector stakeholders to shape a sustainable, inclusive, and investment-driven future for Liberia's fisheries industry. The Liberia Petroleum Refining Company, LPRC, has termed as baseless media reports that it is collecting and mismanaging government revenue. LPRC Managing Director Amos Twe also described the report as misleading and only intended to spread falsehood in the public space. Mr. Twe told the news conference Wednesday that revenues collected at the LPRC are done by the Liberia Revenue Authority as the government entity charged with such responsibility. He clarified that at no point in time did the LPRC collect revenues. Meanwhile, Mr. Twe has recommitted the LPRC to fostering transparency, institutional integrity, and compliance with national laws. And the Liberia Refugee Repatriation and Resettlement Commission, LCCC, has signed a tripartite memorandum of understanding with two institutions to implement Executive Order 144 and 147. They are with the Liberia Immigration Service and the National Identification Registry. Executive Orders 144 and 147 aims to provide durable solutions for integration that's integrated Ivorian refugees and other recognized refugees who have chosen Liberia as the permanent home. The MOU seeks to strengthen the legal documentation process for thousands of refugees in Liberia. Speaking at the signing ceremony, LCCC Executive Director, Councillor Cole Bangaloo, described the agreement as a decisive and coordinated national step towards implementing the two executive orders.
Nakita Roberts with the news bulletin. This is Newsline on ELBC Radio. Our top story on this edition of the program, Government of Liberia signs 20 megawatt hydropower plant agreement at EU Liberia Business Forum in Belgium. That's Brussels. Well, as we speak, the first batch of yellow machines brought into the country on Sunday by the government is being transported to Kingsburg for storage. The arrival of the earth moving equipment has sparked celebrations and high hopes for better roads across the country. During the removal of the heavy-duty machines from the people of Monrovia Thursday, several citizens spoke to ELBC.
President